Parashat Chukat. One of the real mysteries of the Bible is the whole mystery of the red heifer, a potion which came from the burnt ashes of the red heifer mixed with waters of purification. And the point of this was the manner in which one who became ritually defiled would become ritually purified. By the sprinkling of these ashes over the individual who had been defiled, and then he would become pure. The mystery is because those who actually made the red heifer potion, they who carried it became defiled because of that. And how could it be that the very object which purified at the same time defiled? My teacher, Rav Soloveitchik, taught very clearly that this is not at all a paradox. It's not at all a mystery. If someone you know falls into a mud pile and you go out in order to rescue him from the swamp that he finds himself in, you'll take him out. But in the process, you will become dirtied by the mud. That's the point of the red heifer. Of course, those who carry the potion and began being purified, they will come into contact with those who are impure, and that will of necessity defile them. However, our love for our fellow Jew must be so powerful, and that's the task of the Kohen, the Skions of Aaron, HaKohen HaGadol, that they have to be willing to love every Jew so much that they're willing even to become a little bit defiled in order to purify every Jew. This is beautifully explained by one of the parallels of Rav Nachman of Bratslav. Rav Nachman of Bratslav tells of a king in one of his famous stories, whose son all of a sudden had a very strange psychosis. It was his only son, his prince and his heir. And he woke up one morning, and instead of saying Boker Tov, he said, "Kadoodaloo, kadoodaloo." He disrobed completely. He jumped around under the table. He appeared to be a rooster. He thought of himself as a rooster. The king was beside himself. This was the individual who was supposed to inherit his kingdom. He called all the wise men to try to cure the young man. No one could do it. And finally entered the rabbi. The rabbi immediately took off his clothes and got under the table and began saying, along with the prince's, the king's son, the prince, "Kakadoodle-doo, kakadoodle-doo, shalom aleichem. I'm also a rooster. Kakadoodle-doo, kakadoodle-doo." And they romped and played together for that whole day. The next day, the rabbi got under the table again, began romping with the prince, but this time he ate real food, not rooster food, chick feed. And the prince looked at him oddly. "You mean you can eat this?" "Cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo, yes, you can be a rooster, and you can eat this." And slowly but surely, he got the young prince to eat real food. The next week, he came under the table, but this time he was dressed with trousers. Once again, "Cock-a-doodle-doo, I thought you were a rooster." "Cock-a-doodle-doo." Roosters, however, can wear some clothing as well. Until slowly but surely, the rabbi brought the prince back to real humanity. This is the task of anyone who really wants to bring errant Jews back home again to Judaism. This was the great insight of the Rebbe of Lubavitch, who sent out all over the world emissaries, very often to places that had been devoid of Torah for many, many years. And of course it's difficult for a Torah teacher or rabbi or an emissary to go somewhere where there are no real students who are able to study on a high level. But you must begin to join with them on their level. Obviously still being true to Jewish law, but at the same time entering into their world and slowly but surely bringing them along until they too are able to become real Jewish citizens. It's this love for every Jew which is the great success of Chabad. And when I asked the Lubavitcher Rebbe for a blessing, he gave me a beautiful blessing. He said that I would be able to remain in Efrat as rabbi until the coming of the Redeemer, but on one condition, that I produce emissaries who will go out all over the world, who will be modern on the outside and Chabad on the inside. We're going to celebrate next week our smicha ceremony for our rabbis, many of whom are going to communities all over the world. We generally place 30 to 35 rabbis and educators from Australia to Puta, Uganda. We're doing exactly what Rav Nachman of Bratslav taught us all we have to do. We're getting under the table and we're bringing back every prince of Israel to his true aristocratic lineage as children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. Shabbat Shalom.